demons! There are demons! Welcome to Matt Reviews Books. I am your host, Matt. And if this is your first time here, this is a book review channel dedicated to older books. Books that may have been bestsellers at one point, but no longer are. In fact, you'll find them in used bookstores, at book sales, flea markets, even estate sales. And if that sounds like something that you want to hear about some more, well, hit subscribe. Down, hit the like button on those videos that you like. Specifically, I want to know which ones are getting the love. And go ahead, comment. Let me know what you're reading. Let me know what you want me to read. And with that, let's move on to this week's book. This is Book 3 of the Mallorean, David Eddings' follow-up pentology to the Belgarion. This is the Demon Lord of Karanda. At the end of Book 2, King of the Murgos, they've taken them and they've started... they're going to take them to the Emperor of Mallorea. The thing is, Garion and Zakath are the two most powerful people in David Eddings' world, in this particular world. And they hit it off, famously. But Garion can get under Zakath's skin, and they both can really get at each other. They go to Zeth, and which is fine, because they're kind of headed in that direction anyway. But once they were there, Belgarath and Sinedra and Silk and Garion really tried to get Zakath to understand that they need to be moving on now. And Zakath is not having any of it. He's not going to let them go. The party, the group, our friends, start hatching this plan to escape. But before they do, a plague breaks out in Zeth, the world's largest city. And the whole city is quarantined. It takes the help of this odd juggler. He's sort of out of the blue. Like, he just sort of appears with one of the supporting characters, and then he becomes part of the party and helps them escape Zeth, which is a good thing. We need to get out of Zeth so that we can move to the House of Torak, Ashaba. On the way to Ashaba, they start hearing stories, some other characters, supporting characters on the Child of Dark's side, or really they're not even on the side, they just don't. They're just the kind of the bad people. So they've raised demons to help solidify their power and take power. And so now we start having the whole thing. The rest of the story, the rest of this book has this whole feature of demons. We don't actually see the demons, however. I'll get to that. We just hear a lot about the demons. We see demon damage. That's actually a pretty good metal band name. And then we get to Ashaba. And at Ashaba, this is the House of Torak, but it's been open to the elements for 500 years. Garion and his friends are actually upstairs when Urvon, one of the disciples of the dead god Torak, shows up with his demon, Nahaz, right? Right. And Garion watches the ceremony play out when suddenly Zandramas shows up with Duran. But it's not Duran. We don't know that until the end, really, because Garion goes absolutely ape. He goes off the rails and goes berserker. Just a berserker rage. And he goes down to try and kill Zandramas. At the same time, he goes down there when it find out this juggler who had just sort of suddenly appears. And it turns out it's Beldin, who absolutely hates Urvon, and he tries to kill Urvon, but Nahaz flees with him, gets out of the way. At that point, Garion he's kind of embarrassed. They got places to go. So then they have to keep tracking Zandramas and they still have to keep finding these mysteries. Where they next have to go. Belgarath has to figure out where they're going to find Zadramos. And as they're traveling, as they're leaving Ashaba and they're going back through Karanda, they encounter this temple. It's a demon worship temple, right? It's not a temple of Torak anymore, but it's been turned over to worshiping demons. And there is a scene with a pregnant woman who, well, she got pregnant by a demon. Sounds a little bit risque to me. Finally, what happens? Here's our cliffhanger. Zadramos shows up again and tries to get Synedra to get into a rage. She gets Synedra to get into a rage, and she is going to kill Synedra because Synedra's not thinking when Polydra shows up. And Polydra, who is Belgarath's wife, and everybody thinks she's dead, she shows up to stop Zadramos and save Synedra. There's the end of the book. Not a bad cliffhanger. So, here we go. Thoughts! This is cool. Finally, after 7 books of hearing about Zakath, we finally get to meet Zakath. And he's not really a bad guy. There's more to him than kind of meets the eye. And Eddings, I think, actually Zakath is probably one of his stronger characters. As we're going through, we are realizing Malloreans and Boundless Mallorea is far different. Mallorea itself, the Angaraks are ruled by non-Angaraks, and the royal family of Mallorea isn't really truly Angarak anymore. They kind of are, but they've intermarried with other kings. In fact, most of them are Melcenes, the senior bureaucracy administration. The Karans are not even Angarak. It's much more complicated than just a single monolithic ruler. The Karans are demon worshippers, and this book is filled with demons. Sort of. Eddings seems to give demons sort of some of not quite the same circumspection as sex, but he doesn't really deal with demons, even when you have Nahaz, who is generally humanoid. And for that matter, demons and sex sort of meet at the junction of the pregnant woman, right? But we don't actually get a description of the demon A who impregnated her, and B, sort of the how that act occurred, right? I mean, they set it up as Eddie sets up the backstory and he talks around it, but in the end, it's just one of those things where he doesn't really he sort of avoids it. He steps lightly around the subject. Granted, not everyone, I think, really wants a graphic depiction of demon sex. Demon sex would be another good metal band name. Demon sex! Honestly, this is a fun book. It's a good book. It's a great read, and you can spend a wonderful week, if that's how slow you are, or an afternoon. Some people are faster readers than others, which is why I say, go forth and read it! And again, thank you for watching. I really hope you will stick around. I will see you next time!